Go ahead. Keep going.
But I mean, it's fine. Nobody's buying me anything like that anyway, so. Unless one of the fans is feeling generous.
Yeah, do you want to get us matching Cartier love bracelets?
Yes, that's what we need, friendship bracelets, but Cartier love bracelets.
Tell them to...
I hope she remembers to bleep that, because occasionally her sailor's mouth, potty mouth.
You are the one that we have the problems with.
Cussing is so ingrained in her everyday language that sometimes when I go to post the videos, I'm like, Melissa, you missed all the cuss words. And she's like, I didn't even notice any. Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Hello, hot boys and hot girls. Welcome back to Hot Girl Kitchen. We've had a brief hiatus. And I know that you've all been avidly watching our old videos in the meantime because you've missed us so much. But here we are, back and better than ever.
With that being said,
our triumphant return
needs some triumphant fandom, and we're going to need you to subscribe. And I don't want to have to say it again, but we have to continue to say it because people aren't really getting it.
They're not taking the hint.
Yeah, so before we give you all our tips and tricks on all this fabulous food that we cook, we are going to need a favor. We're doing you a favor, so you do us a favor.
Yes, please.
And with that, I guess we should jump right into what we might be making today.
Yes, what kind of triumphant dish are we making for our triumphant return?
So I am, in fact, very, very good at making soup.
Okay.
And we
better tell them.
We just have not really... We did the Mexican street corn soup, which we know you've all seen, but I have not really shown you guys what I really can do for you and for Matthew because he has not had this yet. So, what we are making today is a homemade tomato basil soup.
Not basil. Oh my god, you know how we feel about basil. I love anything involving basil. I would eat cracker if it had a basil leaf on it. Scrumptious.
So, the reason we are so ready for soup is because guess what season it is?
It's autumn.
Autumn.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the appropriate time to get out your pots and get out your broths and really get cooking in the kitchen.
Yes, who doesn't love a good homemade bowl of soup? As the weather turns, the leaves are crispy, the leaves are falling off the trees, now it's winter and it's snowing and you're cold.
And you need
a warm, other than like alcohol to warm you up, like a warm soup is like the next best thing. I mean, we do have the alcohol as well. I mean, don't get it twisted.
So, I guess we will just jump right into what we need for this amazing, wonderful tomato basil soup that your fave has never...
Looks like a few things. Looks like we need more than a few ingredients.
Yes. So, the thing about soup is it either has very minimal ingredients or it has 1 million ingredients and is very complex. Tomato soup you would think would be relatively simple with minimal ingredients, but it actually does need quite a few to get those rich, complex
I can imagine.
flavors.
Because if you literally just made soup with tomatoes it would just taste like a tomato. Like you need.
It would just taste like tomato sauce.
Right.
So,
you need a more complex, bold flavor profile.
So, as far as tomatoes go, we have quite a few cherry tomatoes and quite a few plum tomatoes. We do have even more than this. Off screen, there's too many for us to...
We have such an overabundance of tomatoes.
Yeah.
I just went and picked them from my farm, and we had such an abundant harvest that we were like, what can we do other than make you guys tomato soup?
Exactly. You can do the tomatoes on the vine as well, and you can actually, we're going to put all these ingredients in the oven, and you can put them with the vine in the oven, and then before you emulsify them, you would obviously take the vine off.
Wow, I didn't know that, or else I would have remained
with
the vine.
vines on.
Yes.
You are going to need quite a large amount of sweet onion. also red onion. You need some complex onion flavor.
I'm crying already just being in the presence of all these onions.
You also need, this is about 5...
You also need waterproof mascara while you're chopping
while you're chopping
onions.
this. This is about 5 relatively
Carrots.
Large carrots.
Okay, I was wondering
Yeah, no.
what the pause was. I was like, it's a carrot, girl.
And then we're going to need our whole cloves of garlic. You know, we love the already peeled whole cloves of garlic because this is Lazy Girl Kitchen for life.
One last step is one more
Moment of our time.
of our lives
taken.
that we can use to
Exactly.
enjoy the finer things like wine.
I also have vegetable stock and some chicken stock. Now, we're going to emulsify them with very minimal stock, and then once it's cooking, we will add if we need to. If it's a little too thick and we want it a little more soupy. I have made this in the past and did too much of the broth, and then it's been too watered down. So
Tragic.
you learn from your mistakes, and what you do is you add the broth after everything's liquefied, ready to cook. Then you add a little broth, see what you need, add more if needed. We are going to need some extra virgin olive oil. You know we love that here. Some balsamic vinegar. We have, as far as our fresh herbs, we have bay leaves, we have oregano, rosemary, and thyme. And we have, of course, basil.
My fave.
So as far as the basil, we're going to hold off. That's more of a once the soup is made, but we are going to throw some of these inside when we are cooking in the oven. Now for dried herbs and spices, we're going to do some dried parsley, dried oregano, onion powder, paprika, dried basil leaves, red pepper flakes, garlic salt obviously, and some dried thyme. I'm also going to throw in some peppercorns, and you're going to need some fresh pink Himalayan salt and pepper as well. I don't know if there is a shortage where you guys are all across the world because we have such international viewers.
Fandom.
But there is a shortage of garlic salt in Pittsburgh. I don't know what's happening.
Tragic.
So I had to order my Celtic sea salt from Amazon, which is, you know, my gray sea salt. We love this brand. This is the gray salt, but it's garlic salt. So
You say I'm unapproachable. You are the biggest snob with salts. Bath salts, even like any kind of salt that you could possibly have. Melissa
when was I
has
a
to have
snob
the
with
best.
bath salt?
I'm kidding, because remember when people were like eating people's faces off? Like
I love does that count?
Okay, bleep that out. But like any salt in Melissa's kitchen was like $650.
That's not true. I do have black salt though.
And I'm unrelatable.
That's a little crazy. We might even top, you know, I'm inspired because we're talking about salt. We are going to top our tomato soup with black salt for fun. You inspired me.
I'm so excited. I'm also feeling inspired to take some bath salts and eat your face off. So I'm glad we're both in the creative mood.
And we're also probably going to do some freshly grated Parmesan, just like a little on top. Just like a quick little boop. And you're going to need an oven friendly. I have this like, what material would you call this?
It's like silicone.
Yeah, silicone.
Never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, it's safe for the oven. You're going to start layering.
Which we've already started doing.
Yeah, you're going to start layering some of your items. So we'll layer some onion, some of the red onion.
I'm going to back up for the tear moment. I already cry enough as it is.
We're going to throw in
Living in
carrots.
misery.
Throw in some of our tomatoes. We can fit these all in now. Top with
More onions.
More onions.
Apparently throw the onions on the floor too.
Yep.
The cleanup crew will get them.
Not Yaga though, because he can't have those.
No.
And then, so we got all the onions. Get all the carrots. Try to.
You really are loading it on up.
That's what I'm saying.
What's the goal? What are we doing with this? Putting it in the oven?
Yeah, it's going in the oven. We're going to throw in more tomatoes. Now, it's really going to be loaded up, guys.
Yeah, it does look that way.
It's okay. really get creative with how you want to throw stuff on here.
So what happens if like it all falls off? Like what happens if that happens in the oven? Our cherry tomatoes just roll right off, right onto the bottom, and now you have a burnt oven floor.
You clean it like an adult.
Not something I'm familiar with.
Alright, we're going to add more. We already have some garlic cloves in here. We're going to add even more because you truly cannot have enough garlic.
Your date may disagree, but that's okay. We love garlic. Tell them Hot Girl Kitchen said so.
Alright, so what we're doing now is
I hope Jesus isn't watching. I'm sure our fandom is so extensive. I'm sure he's seen it.
Well, guess what? I heard that he forgives. So.
Oh, thank God.
Word on the street is that he
Word
forgives.
on the street. Yeah, that's the tea. Thank you for your forgiveness in advance, Jesus.
So we are going to add whole peppercorns into here. Sorry, it's a little... We are jam-packed here, so it's a little messy. We already added our fresh thyme, our fresh rosemary. We're going to do salt. And don't worry about it all being that even, because like we said, we're going to emulsify and mix all of this together, so everything will come together in the end. So
what I'm wondering, and I'm sure the fans are also wondering, what's the goal? We're putting this in the oven to roast.
Yeah, we're going to cook all of this for 30 minutes minimum, but we're going to just keep checking after 30 minutes. So you want,
and what's the oven set to?
400 Fahrenheit. And
oh Lord, 400 Celsius, we'd be in hell. Jesus did not forgive us if we're cooking at 400 degrees Celsius.
So, you guys will find that... Actually, let's do some liquid first.
I hope this part means... Yager is in the spirit of spilling everything. He knocked his bone right off of the couch onto the floor.
So you're going to add in a lot of olive oil.
A lot is an underestimate. Oh my God, the way Melissa uses olive oil, electric chair. That like
organic.
She came over to my apartment.
Organic, fresh pressed, extra virgin olive oil. Yeah. My heart is healthy AF. My HDLs are 111. Get on my level. Yours are probably 60. Come at me.
Don't know what any of that means. She came over to my, I started to say apartment, but I forgot. She came over to my estate the other evening to cook dinner for me and the homegirls, and used like a whole bottle of olive oil. I was like, what the hell? If I knew you were going to be using 9 gallons, I would have made you use something cheap. I wouldn't have given you the good stuff.
Our bodies can't ever have the cheap stuff, girl.
My bank account wishes it could, because it cried after you left. It's like, oh my God, not my $795.65 bottle of olive oil.
Girl, this costs like $30, so I know.
Okay, it's a little bit of a lot for to use a $30 bottle of olive oil in one sitting.
Actually, it might be more like...
It's like $38, I think. I think I bought you that. Or was that the last one? You've already gone through it and replaced.
Oh, I've replaced like 3 times since you bought it for me. I go there like once a month, probably. It has to happen. Then I buy the little ones. They sell the little ones now that are like $11. I buy those for when I need to top with a little drizzle.
I told her she should buy stock, or just actually, better yet, start her own olive grove.
I should really... I think that's what I should invest.
Let's start growing olives at our estate.
Whenever we pop off from Hot Girl Kitchen, I think I will, in fact, invest in an olive grove. And a winery. We might as well do
I would appreciate a winery a little bit more.
I think we'll do both.
Why can't we do... Yeah, maybe... Can you grow olives and wine? Can you grow grapes like in the same region?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Jordan.
I believe so.
We'll have to ask our homegirl, boy Jordan.
Yeah, he is almost a sommelier.
I think he's like a...
Is he officially certified now?
I'm not really sure, but...
Homegirl, boy Jordan, if you're watching, drop a comment below to clarify.
Clarify your... He's very... He's
educated in the areas of wine.
Certified to help us. Sorry,
we're just certified drinkers.
Yeah, we just drink the wine that he provides. So as you see, we are adding all of our spices and herbs, dried, wet, all of the above.
Wet?
Fresh, wet, whatever.
Her mind is always in the gutter.
And as you see, look how, this actually looks wonderful.
I know, we might need to take a photo.
And we are going to top with our balsamic vinegar.
Backing up because Melissa seems to be willy-nilly with the drizzle. Although it probably would just go with my outfit. I look like a bottle of balsamic vinegar right now. Because I'm wearing burgundy, in case you didn't get it.
Yeah, I did get it.
Well, I didn't know if they got it.
He's insulting you guys.
Well, I don't know if they can tell I'm wearing a full burgundy fit from the camera angle.
Let me do a couple more red pepper flakes because we do love a red pepper flake in it. Our home girls at home. We're going to do just a little more salt and pepper. And then, guys, it looks like this might be ready. To throw in the oven. After
And I'm ready for a photo shoot.
Yeah.
In case they haven't noticed.
Alright, let's stop it there, and then let's definitely get a photo of this because this is really extravagant. So now that we've had this in the oven, to be quite honest,
You have no idea how long it was.
it was at least 45 minutes. We were shooting for 30 to 45 minutes. It could have been closer to an hour, if we're being quite honest.
Yeah, I always love a longer roast, if you ask me.
And honestly, it looks better than it's ever looked, so...
And right now what she's doing is removing the inedible herbs from the top.
Yeah, we're just going to remove the thyme and the rosemary from the top. You can leave some of it, the scarce little leaves in there, but you want to really get rid of the stems, I guess, is what we're getting rid of. So now we're just going to take our... We could probably use... Let me use a spoon.
Spoon our ingredients right into the pot.
Yep. We're going to take these, and at the bottom they don't look as roasted, but they're still soft. So you ultimately you want everything to be relatively soft for your emulsion. Alright, now after we put everything from there...
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
What happens if the viewers at home don't happen to have an emulsifier laying around?
You put everything in a blender.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're emulsifying.
We're now emulsifying our soup. This was everything that we roasted, all in the pot. Right now there's no liquid, no broth, just our ingredients.
Just 5.
Just 5. So we're going to do this until we get everything as rounded as possible.
I love the sound effect.
As you can see, we're really getting everything going. Now that we have emulsified all of our ingredients, as you can see, it's very thick. I'm going to use a spoon to show you. It's like a baby food, like a puree.
And let's be sure, we are not feeding any children in this house.
Absolutely not. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some broth.
Some, would you say that was half a container?
Not half, that was like a fourth.
Okay.
Fourth of a container. Let me get a spoon and really mix that in there. And we are going to use the emulsifier again, so don't just put it away just yet. But we are going to let this cook with some broth and kind of like thin out, get even softer, etc. It's I did try the baby food puree-esque
And it was,
thing.
the taste was there.
The taste is there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some thick sea salt, some thick boys, and by thick boys I mean my Celtic gray, my Celtic gray sea salt. We are adding a lot of
No, it is not ground, it is just full.
It is just the full bits. We're going to add some pepper. We know Matt loves a pepper experience.
I love it peppery.
And that is the name of my parents' new puppy, in case anyone
I know, I think I inspired them.
I mean, I'm the one that named it, but yeah, sure.
Oh, so I inspired you.
I mean, I use pepper every day.
And all of our videos, I'm like, it's peppery. It's peppery. I love it peppery.
Maybe you just stuck in my head, I guess.
I know, I am stuck in your head. I live in your mind rent-free.
But also, you do speak to me every second of every day, so it would be very hard.
Whether I want to or not.
Yeah.
Even if I don't want to, Melissa's like, please speak to me. Desperate for your love.
So we're just re-adding all of our dried spices again, just like to top off. We're going to mix those in a little.
Add a more complex flavor profile. Add some depth.
And then we are going to add some bay leaves on top now. And
of course she is. She loves a bay leaf.
I do love a fresh bay leaf.
I'm surprised you didn't name your parents' dog Bay Leaf.
It's not cute. We are going to add some fresh bay leaves. And also, actually I'm going to add even more broth. We're going to really get the party going.
Wow, we are getting ahead of ourselves.
So we're going to add half of a box of broth.
That was the whole box?
Well, I only had half of a box. I should have said that. Sorry.
Okay, she started with the half of the box.
No, I did start with a half of a box. So now we are nice and...
It's a creamier experience.
Yeah, it's definitely a little... Not watery, but like it's definitely...
Creamy. Something smells scrumptious indeed.
We just got our tomato soup ready. We did not have to add any cream. We didn't have to blend it anymore. Everything was perfect. We used half a box of vegetable broth, and then the rest was just the emulsified roasted vegetables and ingredients.
Yeah.
So
then we just added some.
We topped it with freshly grated Parmesan, with basil, with parsley, and red pepper flakes.
Just for a little bit of a presentation, but it doesn't necessarily like add to the flavor because you might not be like eating the leaves. I mean, you can, but...
I mean, I'm gonna eat them.
Look, this is nice and like... This is what I call creamy. It's like thicker, but it's not too thick, but it's not runny. It's like a good consistency. Oh, it's serving basil. My favorite ingredient ever.
And tell them how you normally feel about tomato soup.
I really have a disdain for tomato soup unless I'm dipping it in grilled cheese. But like, I mean, I don't know that I would sit this and eat it by the gallon, but like, I'm not offended by like consuming it, you know.
Your fave literally eats Campbell's.
Electric chair. I mean, I have no words.
Oh.
Better not bring that mess around here, girl. That's what your fave would do, is fling her tomato soup everywhere. And while you're at it, your fave better like and subscribe, okay? That's all I have to say on that. Bye.
Bye.
Real hot girl shit.